guys, Carco here. Hey, I know many of you probably watching this may not know who I am or what I do. It has been a while since I've made a video and frankly actively participated in the community, so I thought I'd say hello, and I'm back. To those of you who are new, welcome. I'm glad you decided to join us. So I started work, Sunday night on World 9 when I had some time, and I just started grinding away. I did 4 biomes in total. There's already plenty here, and so I thought I'd just kind of walk you guys through kind of the highlights of it and show you a little bit about it. So for starters, you have your palettes over here. We'll just jump right to the first biome. This is Jagged Terrain. Go ahead and render it. I know that you guys won't be able to see this while it renders. I've tested. OBS can't apparently handle it while it's rendering, so I gotta wait till it gets to 100%. You should be able to see what I'm seeing now. We'll go ahead and go for a flight in this. Actually, let's spin around it first. So this is Jagged Terrain. It's made up of a whole variety of algorithms plus distortion. And you can see inside here, it's got some really sweet terrain to it. There's different layering using substrate. The top, you've got these really neon fluorescent trees. I got tall grass, flowers, and you can really see it when you get down into the level like this. It has some really great shape to it. Down there's ponds. Down in the bottom of the ponds are glowing crystals, so at nighttime the water will begin to glow. You can kind of see some of the substrates that I used. So let's go for a flight around inside of it and get kind of a feel of what this environment would look like inside in game. So you go around. Frankly, I really like this one. This is where I started out when I was building the map. There's neat little valleys and canyons in here, but some flat terrain. So there's something to work with. But this is obviously a bit more. This one's a bit more aesthetically pleasing, so it's not exactly the perfect place to build, but, if you built into the side of something, it would work. Let me stretch this out real quick. I need to close it. Let's try it again at 64. So what I want to do is render it, and this may take a minute or two, but I want to render it on a larger scale so you guys can get a feeling of exactly what this would look like in larger quantity, because it really looks cool. I had a lot of fun working on this. I haven't worked with the editor in about 4 months or so, so I came back and started trying to do something even cooler than I've done in the past. I want to do something that if you saw in game, cough cough, you'd be really excited about. And this is shredding my video card. I even upgraded the thing and it's still punishing it. I don't know if you can see this or not. I kinda doubt it, but if you can see it, you can see there's a great deal of terrain, valleys, and beautiful cutaways of the landscape. If you zoom out a little bit more from altitude, okay, doing 64 while recording is a terrible idea. Yeah, you can kind of get a feel for it. It's a lot of those swirling shapes. It's actually absolute noise combined. I can't remember what I combined it with, but that's how you get kind of the sharp points running along the edges. So you get an idea, and that's kind of the Jagged Terrain biome. Let's jump back down here, and let's go to the Crazy Jungle. Crazy Jungle I need to give some credit for. This is largely a rip of Gaia with a bit of modification to it. The Gaia jungle is a great template to start with, especially if you're experimenting, and frankly that's kind of how you learn, is by working with and studying the algorithms sometimes other people put together, except of course I added water to it, and I changed up quite a few variables. Distribution of the jungle, and the way it blends is different in my world too, but as you can see with this kind of fluorescent colored foliage, they look really cool, especially that new mesh they're experimenting with for close range rendering. Put us in the rock. Sorry. But as you can see, it's very, very thick. If you were inside here, you probably wouldn't be able to see up to see through the light, but there's also gaps in it, and I'd probably have to render. There's one. Okay. So inside the jungle, this is a small one, but there are actual clearings inside of it to where you can see the sun that are not water too. So they're mixed in there, and then these give you kind of interesting points to build, or hang out, or build a tower, or peep out of. So that one's pretty good. I just needed a kind of a standard jungle environment to work with. A couple kind of filler biomes, but I needed them to blend the environment together. And then we'll go to Caveland Plains. Yeah, this is supposed to start out as just plains with some cracks down in the ground. And what this turned into was something completely unintended. There's a little bit of Keyford in here, and a little bit of let's say it's a blend of different things I've done in the past combined together in a different way, especially with an extra splash of flavor. What I did is I used leaves underground as a substrate at several key elevations to make the ceilings of the underground sand caverns in certain places spiced up with green coloring. And it really adds a lot, especially when you go underground. The screenshots I posted on Twitter, they suck. They don't even show you how cool this is. So let's start up on the surface so you guys can get an idea. Okay, so it's pretty jagged. There are some definite open holes that are exposed. You're seeing layers of not only the surface and cave, but me blending the colors together and making them match perfectly. So while you don't realize that this is actually the surface going down into caves, I've blended that together so it actually looks like it's just one uniform land structure. But if you go down in here, it's really great. Let's see, go through here, you go through here, you can dive down in here, and then you start to get some of this green along the ceiling, so it kind of breaks up the sand. And then there's actually cracks throughout it. And this is a little bit interesting. I guess a lot of you might not have seen it because you've only seen, Kiefer 2, or what is it called? Kala and Koa. Hell, I can't say any of the names. They rename things too. Those names kill me, man. I miss the days of Hell and what were the other ones? Oh gosh, Fuchs. I mean, simple names that were really easy to remember. Now they're all like jibber jabber out of a name generator. So anyways, if you've been to Kala, or whatever its other colored equivalent is, you probably haven't seen anything like this, because this is kind of how Keyford version 1.0 was. It had a lot more of this structure to it, except I shrunk it down. Instead, in Keyford 1, that went sky to bottom, and I mean literally the sun was just above and lighting was above the very top. Here I put it down to a much lower level, so there's actually going to be cloud up above you instead of you being in the cloud. And then, of course, down here, you drop down into some of these holes, you'll find patches and cave structures to go through, and in certain points, I found a couple, let me see if I can find one, where you would actually be hidden away, like an alcove that you have to move around to get to. Oh yeah, here's some of the overhead work I used the green for. Here you go. Okay, so you come down from like here, then you can go back inside here, and keep going back in, and then like carve out a base or something interesting over here. Real neat hiding spot. Neat way to conceal like a base or something, if you wanted to stay off the beaten path. So this is another good one. I really like this one. This is the second kind of really unique biome for the world that I think will add a lot of flavor and give people fun things to explore and also to take screenshots of. And then, because I finally learned my lesson about generating terrain, I know it's not interesting necessarily as a map maker, but you need to add plain ass terrain to your maps. And it's plain ass terrain. You don't think much of it because it's not very fun when you're map making. It doesn't look cool when you take screenshots and people looking at it go, who cares? But functional space within your map is important too. I mean, let's get real. Some people want to build a big giant city, and they're going to need some flat land to do that. Not everyone wants to be hidden away in some sort of alcove. The white things are flowers. The kind of lighter green is tall grass splashed against the surface. And there is some elevation difference. I've got the height map compressed way down to maybe like 5 or 10 or something, so there's very, very little variation. And this is designed to give you a nice smooth field to walk through. And then of course all 4 biomes get blended together, and I'll show you that in just a minute. But it's important to remember, I mean, think about a lot of the things they've talked about. Temples, you're going to need flat land for that. Titan biome, you're going to need flat land for that. If you're actually going to try and fight somebody in a PvP setting, I don't know about you, but I don't think I'm going to pick the cragged environment to engage in. So if I wanted to catch somebody, I'd prefer to catch them out in the open so I had some room to move. But so there's lots of different reasons that you should have some, boring terrain thrown into the mix. So this is here for that reason. And it doesn't look half bad. So it's just not which is what I'm used to doing. So okay, and then I want to throw in another bit, especially for some of you who are watching for map making reasons. This algorithm is not mine. Okay, this is copied and pasted from Gaia. This is a totally awesome algorithm. I study the free maps they give you, study those configs, look at the noise algorithms that they come up with, use them. It is intended for you to copy and to learn from. They know full well that you won't be able to figure this out from scratch. And hell, I didn't even figure most of this out from scratch myself. I had to study lots of other examples to even begin to try and do this. I still can't make good fractal noise algorithms where you feed it in. It's still beyond me to do from scratch. So, I copy and paste. So this is a really good algorithm because scaled up on size, and it crashed partway through rendering. Anyways, scaled up on size, it creates a really nice, smooth, even distribution. Yes, there are some gaps, but that matters in 3-dimensional space, and those ledges would show up. But when you're doing a biome distribution map, which any of you watching, this is how you get to multiple biomes to stick together in the same world, is you have to assign things like, I use altitude, it's the easiest way. You go and change the altitude, to 0.25 to 0, 0.25 to 0.55, 0.5 to 0.75, up to 1. Each one occupies a certain space, and then you apply a noise function, in this case this nice slow moving one, and you get something that looks a little like this. Watch, it's probably going to crash. Well, you can't see this, it's rendering, I forgot. I have to wait till it's done. And it may not finish, so you may not even be able to see this in the video. I'm sorry if you can't. To give you an idea of what it is, the colors are changing very smoothly over large distances. It's 4 different colors blended together, and let's take a look at the final world. This, I believe, will render even with OBS running, so you guys can get a picture of what this looks like. Because it's actually really cool once it blends it together. Because I think almost all 4 biomes are shown in this single center shot, which is really pretty rare. I think I need to expand out to 64. I don't know if this is going to work with OBS. We'll try it. Works fine without my recording software running in the background. Yeah, this has everything in it. This is great. So, just to give you an idea, it's going to stick the jungle with the plains splice in between it, with water pockets of the jungle, combined with the craggy environment, and also the, what did I call that, plains with the holes in it. Still elements of the Kiefer config. And for those of you who are map making, this is part of how the process works. I mean, it's not an exact science. You try different things out. Sometimes things work, sometimes they look cool, sometimes they don't. You scrap them, you delete things, go back. I think while I was making this, I made a save point every time I went to a new biome or made major revisions to each biome. I think I wound up with 8 or 9 different save points. in creating this one world, so I could keep rolling back to different points in case something didn't go the way I wanted it to in the end. Oh, we've just about got the whole thing. Okay, I have 100%. I don't know if you can see this. I'm sorry if you can't. I'll start moving around in it. Hopefully we can. Let's go to flight mode. It's probably going to be a little laggy, but at least you get to see things. Okay, let's go high up in altitude. Okay. So for starters, from right here at this vantage point, you can see the jungles over here, the jungle water. You can even see that fractal noise on the ground over here. Plains over here, that's a really great shot of the jungle in the distance with a big jungle water pocket. There are also crystals down in the water there too to glow. And then as we move this way, we get into some of the cracked terrain and kind of what I like to call the Kiefer style, with pockets of underground. Oh, bonus floating island that's unintended. Hoot hoot for the blending algorithm. But yeah, this is kind of what it looks like with all of it thrown together. It would be really unique and interesting to walk around in. So I'm really excited to see this world. Maybe with a little bit more work we actually might get to see it in game. So that's most of it. Thanks for following along, and hit me up if you guys have any questions, and I look forward to seeing you. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.